All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a deep dive into an investment memo for a premium property called Westside Two. We're going to break it all down, the good, the bad, and the numbers, to really figure out what this opportunity is all about. You know, the analysis we're looking at kicks off with this pretty intense quote: "The analyst must be ruthless." And honestly, I love that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. A totally direct, no fluff breakdown of this investment.
Okay, first up, the bottom line up front. Yeah, we're doing things a little differently today. We're going to start with the conclusion, the single most important thing you need to walk away with. So here it is. This property, Westside Two, is what you'd call a yield and stability play. It's not a high capital growth speculation. What on earth does that mean? Well, simply put, you don't buy this place hoping to sell it for a huge profit in 2 years. Nope. The real magic here is its power to bring in steady, reliable rent month after month. It's kind of like buying a solid blue chip stock for the dividends, not some crazy tech startup you hope will explode.
So if the whole game here is stability, what makes it so stable, right? That brings us to our next section, the stability play. Let's dig into the pros, the things that make this a really solid, low-risk bet for a certain type of investor. Okay, so check this out. The real strength here isn't just one thing, it's how all these points work together. So you're not just buying a condo unit, you're buying a piece of the whole Desa ParkCity ecosystem. And that DPC brand is a magnet for top-tier tenants. We're talking expats, wealthy local families, the kind of people who pay for convenience and quality of life. And with stuff like Plaza Arcadia and a medical center right there walking distance, that's a huge pull. And what does all that mean? It means your risk of having an empty unit is super low and your rental yield gets pushed into this really nice sweet spot of 4.1 to 5.4%. That's pretty solid for the luxury market.
But hey, it can't all be good news, right? Every investment has two sides to the coin. So let's flip it over and look at the growth problem. This is where we get into the stuff that holds this property back from seeing its price shoot up.
So what are the red flags? Well, for one, it's getting a bit old. I mean, it was finished back in 2015. And in the property world, that's not exactly brand new. Plus, it's got some serious competition from newer, fancier projects right inside DPC. Then there's the price tag, over 1.2 million ringgit. That's a hefty sum that just naturally limits how many people can even think about buying it when you decide to sell. And one last thing, while it's great for walking around the neighborhood, you're still pretty much tied to your car for getting anywhere else. The nearest MRT? Yeah, you're not walking there every day. No way. And this right here, this slide really just lays it all out. It's the biggest issue, plain and simple. Just look at the numbers. Westside 2 is sitting at about 871 ringgit per square foot. Now look at the new stuff, the developers' own new projects. They're going for 1,500, even over 2,000 ringgit per square foot. This basically puts a growth ceiling on Westside 2. I mean, think about it. Why would anyone pay a whole lot more for an older unit when they can get a brand new, higher-end place literally next door? Okay, so we've talked about the story, the pros, and the cons. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty. Section 4, breaking down the numbers. This is where we look at the cold, hard data that backs all of this up. So let's look at the key data points. That median price, 871 per square foot, is definitely up there. But that's not the number you should be focused on. The real story here is that rental yield, 4.1 to 5.4%. That's the engine of this whole thing. That's the cash flow that makes the high price make sense. It's what screams yield-focused asset. Oh, and it's freehold, which is, just a really nice bonus. Now for a number that really tells a story, 0.71%. What is that? That's the year-on-year price increase for this property recently. It's basically flat. This number is probably the most powerful piece of evidence for that whole low-growth argument. The value isn't dropping, which is good, but it's definitely not climbing fast either. All right, we've seen the good, the bad, and the numbers. So let's pull it all together in our final section, the final takeaway. The big question we need to answer is, who on earth is this investment actually for? And the answer is, this property is practically designed for what the memo calls the store of value investor. So who is that? It's someone who isn't trying to get rich quick. Their main goal is to protect their wealth. They want to put their money somewhere safe in a great location, let it ride out inflation, and just collect that rent check every single month. They're not gambling on a market boom. They're playing the long, steady game.
And that really brings us to the one question that this entire breakdown boils down to. It's the question you have to ask yourself before you buy any property, really. Are you investing for steady rent, or are you investing for a big future sale? Because for a place like Westside 2, your answer to that question, well, it changes everything.